Okay, we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Podcast, what is this, 31? Bermcannon Adventure. And we're live on YouTube and Instagram. Just going to bring you guys all up to date. What's been happening? Let's see here. Oh, wow. That's not working. Um, so no intro. It's great. Um, no, that's not it. What's up, Instagram? What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do questions. This is gonna be a podcast, so we'll put this up on the Spotify and Apple and iHeart. But this episode, we're gonna talk about the Long Way Up series on Apple, and yeah, they're using electric bikes, but whatever, This whole year is a shit mess. So what else are we gonna complain about? And then we're going to talk about me getting COVID and dealing with COVID-19. Today would be the fourth week. I actually had it for 3 weeks, but this past week it's been a slow kind of back to normal for me. So we'll talk about that too. Everything you need to know about COVID, because I talked a lot of shit earlier in the year about it. Never did I think it was, well, I did probably get out of hand on a couple of my posts saying it's a fake virus, but I ended up getting it, and we'll talk about that as well as talk about what's next for Bermcannon Adventure, because obviously this year has been kind of, for me, a big disappointment in what I wanted to get done, and I think I'm pretty much at my end. I'm just gonna. I think the best thing is just to let this year just end, because it's it's just I've been pushing and pushing, and then I broke my arm in August too, so I was dealing with that. But I hope you guys are doing good out there, and you guys have been able to achieve your trips and do things and so forth. So, but yeah, so I want to talk about, first of all. So I got to see the Long Way Up, which is a very if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically Obi-Wan Kenobi and his buddy from England. When I say Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's Ewan McGregor, and they did these trips on BMW GS's years back, and they filmed it, and they did Africa, they did across Russia, um, and it was a cool series. It kind of like, got everybody kind of interested in adventure riding, and for guys like me who aren't really adventure bike guys, it's still cool to watch, because you get these two guys that are just going to go out there and just do whatever, explore the land. So they here's the first thing. So I watched the first. I'm not done with it, by the way. It's on Apple iTunes or Apple TV, and the first episode is free, so you can go check that out. And I think then after that you have to pay. But Harley Davidson's involved, budget is involved, and you want to talk about. Look, here's the deal. Um, here's the deal. It's frustrating, because I did Baja Diaries with my camera phone, no budget, out of my pocket, and you look at somebody like Tim. Sorry, I'm dealing with COVID memory issues, but Tim Burke, um, he's on a slim budget, and he's traveling, and he doesn't have a family, or he has family, but he doesn't have kids. And we watch these guys go out in the middle of nowhere for months, weeks, and they're living the life, right? And um, one thing about Long Way Up and when you're Ewan McGregor is when you have budget behind you. And when I say budget, I'm talking in the first episode, you'll see that they have a film production crew. They set up this office in England. It's like a headquarters, and they have it looks like about maybe 6, 7 people who are on payroll, and they're all at desks, and they're making all the logistics. Okay, all the logistics. We're talking like the mapping, the gas stops, the not the gas stops, but the to charge these electric Harley Davidsons. Um, so then they have the crew, which are in these two Humvees, off road, vehicles, which I think they make them electric as well. But in those are like an EMT is in there. Okay, they have their film guys. They have a guy that's very mechanical. For all we know, too, they probably sent a Harley Davidson mechanic, or an engineer, and it's really something to make fun of. But let me tell you, that's why sometimes I push people for Baja. I push them down of going with a tour company, because there's a lot of anxiety when you're on these trips where you've never been before and you're trying to map out these places, and then you're and um I was talking to Baja George about this, because now, I mean, he's been going to Baja for years, and he is not he doesn't want to do that anymore. And I'm kind of starting to think like him, because these last couple years have not I've just been having bad luck, and that's the thing with the XR650 thoughts of like getting a newer bike, something more that is more dependable. There is an age where we're all going to get, unless you're a real Iron Man, where you're riding your XR650 in the middle of nowhere, doing 1,000-mile trip. Ewan McGregor doesn't have to worry about any of that, because if anything, he can call in a helicopter, you know, that's stationed, 400 miles away if he wants. And then he has two chase trucks to put him in if they get hurt. They have an EMT, and that's pretty awesome. But you also can talk smack. I mean, because is that really adventure riding? Is that really getting the essence of, you know, feeling what it feels like to be in danger at some point? Um, yeah, Veal Marsala on Instagram here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it, it's COVID has messed everything up, and I am now at a. We'll get into the COVID thing, because that's a lot on where I'm going with me, because um, we'll get into that later. But I don't know if you guys are also watching the fact that this is interesting, that electric bikes are becoming the world's pushing them, and Harley Davidson's pushing it with this series. The bike, is looks like a street bike, really. I mean, they kind of modded these things where they can kind of go down dirt roads. But the main problem Ewan McGregor was coming across is, like, when they're planning all this out, they're like, okay, where are we going to charge these things? Because they had these things where I guess they're going to put solar panels on these Humvee vehicles, and they'll trickle charge them that way. But at nighttime, you're not charging nothing if you're in the middle of nowhere. And that's kind of a problem. But California, they're going to be not only closing land here in the next 15 years. But electric vehicles, they're going to ban gas vehicles by, what was it, 2035? The great Gavin Newsom that's his great idea. So this is all going to force manufacturers making motorcycles, even side by sides. You guys think you're not, you're excluded. You got another thing coming, but electric vehicles are coming. And so will motorcycles be banned? You know, um, I don't think they'll be banned, but they're going to come down on them. What they're going to do is certain areas you can't ride gas vehicles. They've got to be electric, you know. Um, but then here's because I'm a doomsdayer. Like my cup is half empty, and I'm just like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. They're going to ban that stuff too. This is all just coming down the line because e-bikes, e-mountain bikes, they're already restricting those, and they don't want those. So my question is like, okay, if they go down that route, it's like already they don't even want mountain bikes in the wilderness. They want to just close it all down. They want high-rise apartment buildings with a little dog park, and you bring your dog down there, and that's cute. They want like New York City utopia, and this is what they want. They're already doing this here in California. They build these like these shoebox apartment buildings, even like in these suburbs. And again, we're going political, but whatever, I don't care. It's what they're doing. They're turning suburbs into like these little utopias, and they're not going to want nothing. You just walk your dog. So when you guys, I don't know if you guys are watching this Long Way Up, but this is kind of like they're pushing that. And I just like, I see all the like the writing on the wall. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, I know I got a lot of Gavin Newsom fans on Instagram. Uh, so, um, it's riding. Riding's going to be banned out. Again, Veal e-mountain bike argument is horseshit. I've been riding one for the 3 years now, and they have less effect on the trail than regular mountain bikes, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Um, these e-bikes are really fun, and we're all going to get used to them. Well, I brought this up 5 years ago, and people got all mad. They're like, they'll never, it's coming. It's coming because this is just where we're going. So my thing is like, let's get them, enjoy them while we can, but they will kick you out of certain trails. And, like I have hills right by me that I can ride e-bikes on. And it's just a matter of time before, uh, you know, the Karens see you, and they're going to go, that's not right. That's not right. They're destroying the animal. It's all this, just those people, and they will close the trail. And then then it's the motorcycle enthusiasts, the adventure motorcycle, like the outdoors people again are going to have to, hey, let's just work with them. Let's just work with them. Let's do the best we can. Let's make a silencer so they be more quiet, so we don't hurt anybody. It's like FMF. It's like, yeah, you know what, get all those quiet cores and throw them in the trash. They did nothing, because look at, here we are 20 years later, they're still closing land. 30% of land they're going to close in the next 15 years. So so I will I will keep you guys up to date, because I think it's a cool thing to talk about, that series. I love Ewan McGregor. I think he's just rad. He's like the Fonzie of today, and he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I would love for him, like if Netflix or somebody called me and said, "Hey, take Ewan McGregor and do Baja Diaries," I would love that. And we would do it on a budget, because I guarantee you those guys pocketed at least a couple million in their pocket to do that trip, and they're going to get residuals and all that. Um, so um, I've actually offered a couple different people, not famous, but influencers more, to take them to Baja and film it, because there's nothing like taking somebody down there for the first time and seeing the beauty down there. And I actually had to cancel a couple different private tours I was taking a couple groups on this year because of this. Um, and I just don't know when that's coming back. Which this will segue us into talking about COVID. So it was, what was it? It was, I'm still healing. I was still healing from my broken radius that I achieved back in August, and around September 25th, I can't pull up my calendar for sure, but we'll just say 4 weeks ago today is when I got symptoms, and I got it. You know, I got the famous COVID, and the first 5 days I dealt with aches, achy body, wasn't sleeping real well. Um, and then on day 6, which was a Saturday, I started feeling good. And I started feeling good on that day 6, but something else then kicked in, which is I lost my taste and smell. And that's a huge indicator. Now, these first 6 days, I never got a cough. I never had a fever. Um, but I had aches, and I lost my taste and smell. So it was at that point, it's like, okay, but that 6th day I was feeling good. So Sunday, the day 7, I was like, okay, I think I like may not have it. So I went for a 2 mile, or I went for a walk with my wife, and I ended up, uh, after that walk, I was feeling good and I was kind of pushing it, because at that, I was still jogging a little bit. So I did 2 mile walk and I felt good. It was a hot day, and I came home and it grabbed me and threw me into bed for the next 7 days. That night I was dealing with like sweating, headache, aches, and major fatigue for the next 6 days. So that was week 2. Um, it was pretty shitty, mainly because those days there would be times where I'm like, I feel good, and then all of a sudden I would go down and like just be in a chair, or like just lay down and just like watch. I was watching basketball and football. I was just like, you know what? There's nothing else to do. I was just like, that's it. Um, then that second week, I would say after 10 days, I'd say day 11, day 12, I started feeling better, and I still didn't have my taste or smell. And then I started getting headaches on day 8. And I had headaches for about 4 days into like day 14. Um, then about day 14, the symptoms slowly started to kind of dissipate. But I was dealing with major fatigue still. and that was pretty. I was just look at. I'm a baby when I'm sick, and I hate staying home, and I hate staying in bed, and I hate TV. That's why I love riding and I like surfing, but because I just don't, you know, I can't stand it. You go stir crazy. You're just like, um, so I'd say about day 14, I it started getting better, but I would say from day 14 to day 21, I was still dealing with fatigue on a daily basis where I still wasn't able to go to work and kind of concentrate on stuff. I'm still dealing with like memory loss a little bit, like kind of just like fogginess, foggy brain. Um, and Here we are. This is week 4, and this past week has been really good. So um, yeah. um, did I go to my doctor? TCB, did your doctor offer any relief? No, I didn't go to the doctor. I kind of just, and here's where it kind of gets kind of stupid is, um, there's nothing on the internet really except for all the tech companies are pushing everybody to the CDC. They want to keep it all logistically on the web to the CDC. They don't want anybody like coming up with any kind of like cures on their own and all this other stuff. So I watched my symptoms the first week, and I basically got somewhat, a mild case. There was 2 nights of sleeping where I felt my chest kind of chest pressure. But it wasn't enough to where was, there was one time where I'm like, I think I need to go see the doctor, but it didn't ever got that bad. I have people around me that got it worse, that were dealing with cough, fever, um, and they were kind of going to the doctors. They say when you can't finish a sentence without taking a deep breath, you should go to the hospital. And I never got to that point. Um, so what did I do? Um, so what I did was I called some people who are dealing with this with, you know, I asked around. I know a friend who knows a doctor in Orange County. I was kind of talking to some trainers and stuff like that, because pretty much by now everybody, if you don't know anybody who has it, everybody is kind of just saying this. And I'm not a doctor, but this is what I did. I was coached by certain people to get your immune system in a good place. If you're eating hot dogs every day and pizza, and you're not taking care of yourself, then you're gonna probably have worse issues. I immediately was told to up my vitamin intake, minerals. So I was doing 2,000, at least 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C twice a day. I was taking some other supplements. And if you want to know any of this stuff, I could DM you. I'm not going to put it on air here. Just DM me or send me an email, and I'll let you know what brand I took. But I basically was upping my mineral content to just get my immune system up. And because mainly I wasn't dealing with any coughing, like I said, or fever, I was dealing with fatigue. And from what I found out is COVID, what it does is when you get it, the first 5 days, you don't even know you have it. And that's the problem where people could be spreading it and they don't even know. So it gets into your cells and hides there for a while. And your immune system knows it's there, but it can't find it. That's what's interesting is it can't find it. And it after a while it does find it. It basically finds it, and when it does, it's what the COVID is doing is it's um yeah, Flintstone vitamins. Those are good, by the way. I used to take those as a kid. Um the virus is actually in its it's what was the wording that cell coach was using? It's like hacking your cells. It's basically like it's like the worst. It's like basically morphing your cells into what it is. Um, your immune system, if it's in good shape, will eventually get it, kill it, and then make antibodies, and it'll do its thing. But it takes a while for that, and I'm talking 3 to 4 weeks, 3 weeks, um, and I, I think my immune system was in pretty good shape, even though I felt like crap these 2 weeks. I started upping these supplements like midweek of the first week. Um, so um, yeah, so I would at this point, everybody's just saying everybody's going to get it. So um, I would up your vitamin count, and be taking, and do your own research. If you want to know what I took, again, you can DM me. But all it's going to do is just give you your immune system more of a fighting chance. And it seems like it's dealing a more of a it's dishing out more of a harsher symptoms to men and to certain people. Like I know some guys only they were sick for like a week and they were done. And then I know some guys who had to go in the hospital. You know. Now, do I think we should have shut down the entire country? No. And I do think that, again, back to my first opinion back in April and May, I think we should have took better care of elderly because the elderly were dying because they can't. I know a person right now. Actually, we'll talk about this because this was a few years back when I went to visit Dave McCoy, the founder of Mammoth Mountain. When I went to see him, his caretakers told me like, "Hey, you're washing your hands and don't touch him. Don't get, they didn't even want me getting too close to him." All because if that guy at the time, he was like 98, if he even got a common cold, he would die. I mean, that's the thing is when you're elderly, your immune system is shot. It just doesn't produce white blood cells and do as good as what, you're a young buck. I mean, I remember getting sick as like a 20-year-old and just like going to work. Who cares? Baja every day. Yeah, we got it. There was a lot of fatigue for us too. Yeah. And so I'm actually still dealing with some fatigue. Yesterday and Saturday were good for me, but there's this thing where you're good during the day and then like in the afternoon you're getting fatigued where you want to go lay down, take a nap, and it's frustrating, especially for me. I'm not patient. I have no patience and I hate being sick. So it's like it hits you and you're just like, you know, um, if you were to do the long way up route, what bike would you choose and why? Um, I would choose a BMW. Um, or I would take, it would be a top. Well, here's the deal. I think I take that back. I think I would do the Africa Twin because when it comes down to doing the long way up type stuff, I want luggage and I want to take a lot of stuff. I want to take med kit. I want to take a lot of stuff. Um, in Baja, you usually are, I think, at the most 4 hours away from a town at least in some spots. But that 4 hours with elements matters too, because I was in the middle of Scorpion Bay and Mulahay, and it was 105 degrees, and I had nothing, and I had no gas, no water. So I'd want a bike that has it all, because really, that's what you're really doing with those kinds of trips. You're surviving. You're not really going for joyrides. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. I was talking to Fire Freddy about this. I don't think you'll ever see me do long way up type stuff. Um, I've come to the realization, and I'm talking right now, like I've said really dumb stuff in my life, and I've ended up doing it. And then I look back, I'm like, yeah, I talked myself down, and I ended up doing it. It was kind of, but I joke on the internet. You'll see me troll guys. Is like, I have a family, and that's important to me. I got kids, and those kids are the most important thing to me. They bring me joy better than any ride I could ever do. And you guys have kids, or you guys know that. So I think one of the Baja tours are going to do this cross America trip. What's the Transcontinental Trail, whatever? And I put on there like, oh, that sounds great, but I got a family, so I can't do it. um, so I'll do my trips that are based on me and based on, you know, I don't know if you guys do this or feel this, but like I'll do trips that are like more than 3 days, and then on like the third day, I'm thinking about my kids and I wish I was home. That's I used to like not talk about that, but like that's a good feeling, and that's good because at that point you've been rested to do what's really important in your life, and that's be a dad or take care of your kids and be there for your wife, even though she may not want you home half the time. um but it's um yeah, I mean, I was even going to start raising money. I wanted to do a ride in Russia. um and I don't know if that's ever going to happen either. But again, it's 2020, and at this point my cup is completely empty. um I really don't know what these next 2 months of this year. I trust me, guys. I've had plans. I had tons of plans in Baja, and even my crew. Baja George. He's been going through some things. He lost his father-in-law. Um, it's just a not time. And I think as adventure guys and riders, we need to know when to go and when not to. That is using wisdom. And right now, I'm not planning nothing, because I just got off a broken arm, and I just got off COVID, and it's just like I'm tired. um so yeah, El Wano, yeah, the ACE2 receptor is like a big biolock that is supposed to reject the bad stuff. COVID-19 has sort of a skeleton key, so it gets in the cell without letting the immune system know anything's wrong. You hit it exactly on the button. Let me put it up here so everybody can see. Um, and again, yeah, I mean, the fake virus, that's what everybody's like calling it. Look, from day one, I didn't think it was fake. It was a flu, and I knew it was real. But again, it's a lot different than, you know, it's affecting people differently. And it's also, it humbled me into the fact that everybody should be careful, um, But I also do believe that everybody needs to get ready to get it, because vaccine will come, therapeutics will come here in the next few months, is what they're saying. But, getting it is probably your best bet, because then you got antibodies. Oh, what I was going to bring up is actually, um, yes, Matt Campbell, everything happens for a reason. Yes, you're absolutely right. I'll get back to that in a second. But here's the one thing: nothing on the internet, nothing on the internet to help you. Like I said, they pointed me to the CDC. There is videos you can find and stuff, but prayer and, you know, talking to people who have had it is your best bet. Or, and then going to the hospital too. But the problem is everybody's getting different symptoms. And again, if you are having trouble breathing, then you need to go to the hospital and check yourself in, because from what I hear, is the hospitals now are just giving people stuff and it's killing it. This hydrochloroquine, I don't can't say the name, but the President Trump drug, they say that's working. A hospital in my area, they're giving that, and it's killing it out of a lot of people. Um, and I'm sure we're going to have more therapeutics coming, but back to, um, thanks, Aaron Baker. Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing better. Everything happens for a reason. And all you guys that have did trips, and you guys are all seasoned, and you guys know. There's been many times where I'm riding in the middle of nowhere and we're all on a trip, and certain paths or certain things that come up, like, hey, should we go this way? I've become really keen on that sensibility, and that has saved me so many times. And I feel that me injuring my elbow and getting COVID is a time right now not to be doing any trips. And it feels right. And when you push it and when you go, life can turn into a shit show, you know. Um, and it kills me. I see a lot of people in Mexico right now doing rides. The Baja 1000's coming, and there's all this stuff that I can just jump out there and start doing. And right now, I need to just get better. I'm better, but it's like I don't want to. My friends are down. Like work's weird. Um, work's weird, so I'm dealing with that too. So, um, again, I had all the plans in the world to have like 10 Baja Diaries done by this time, and COVID ruined all that. And now I've scrapped just everything. I want to just kind of just wait and wait for when everything's just right, the right time to do everything. um, yeah, Bald Bazaar. Yeah, you're welcome. You guys can always DM me. There is a mineral supplement I did take for that helped, and along with the vitamins, and there's a couple different brands that are selling stuff right now, and this is all natural minerals and um, you know what's the other word for minerals, but I don't want to say vitamins, but basically protecting the cells and keeping your cells in healthy condition, a natural way. Because right now you can't buy anything that'll like kill COVID actually, but you could buy stuff to fight it, that'll help your body fight it. um, yeah, supplements is the word I was looking for, I guess. Um, so um, I do have some product stuff I'm going to be doing. I got a new helmet and I got a new intercom system. I'm going to be, I've been riding around my house and doing that stuff and getting a review ready for dirt bike test. So I'll be doing that. Um, I know I said I don't have anything planned, but I have some, we'll call them dreams now because their goals just get trashed in 2020. I want to do more fishing. I want to do more surfing videos. I want to do more videos that are going to inspire you guys to do different things in your life. There's tons of riding videos and trail rider guys, Instagram guys that are doing riding stuff. So I want to just, I want to do that. I want to put more videos out that are like, you know what? I'm kind of burnt out on riding, but I want to ride to this place and check out this place. I want to do more of that. And that was the plan for Baja Diaries this year, but hopefully next year we can get down to San Quintin and go visit Captain Kelly, which, you know, that is like, now it's like I want to get down there and show you what he does down there, because going and seeing him is the ultimate Baja Diaries experience. You can stay in San Quintin and go fishing and catch big yellowtail, you know, like on a half day fishing trip. You can come in, catch a couple waves, learn how to surf. Like, he'll take you surfing, and then you come back and you cook up one of those, 20-pound yellowtail and have tacos and then go home, and then life's great, you know. Thanks, Matt. Take care. Um, so, and then I'm actually NIFS on right now. Um, Jared up there in Oregon. Um, Here's something too, is he invited me up to Oregon. I have some family in Oregon too, but I hate going up there because it's far and it's rainy and it's cold. But I actually want to, I'm putting together in my mind how I'll do it, but I think I see myself taking the Africa Twin DCT model that they want me to test and going up there and catching some salmon, which I've never did. I've never caught salmon before. So hopefully NIF will have me, and me and Fire Freddy and Gabe maybe, and we'll go up there and shoot some Oregon stuff. But if God continues to bless me to go out there and do trips, I want to do videos that will inspire people to be, whether it involves motorcycles or surfboards or fishing poles, to just get out there and go experience new places and new experiences. And even hating on 2020, I think I did a little bit of that by doing the videos on Central California with Fire Freddy, and at the beginning of the year we got at least 2 Baja Diaries in. So if you haven't seen those, you can go to my YouTube channel and check them out. All right, TCB. Let's check this out. What do we got here? I watched your review of the CRF 450L and the KTM 500 EXCF. I understood you correct. If I understood you correctly, you lean towards the CRF 450L due to price. If price was not an issue, which of the two bikes would you have chosen? Again, and people make fun of me, but here's the deal: is the 450L is the headlight is a LED headlight. I used to race at night. I used to do the 24-hour race at Glen Helen. We did years of that, and seeing at nighttime, especially when you're older, you don't see as good. So piling on lights, everybody goes Baja Designs, like, oh, I'm just going to go Baja Designs. But I'm telling you, the Honda at nighttime stock, you can ride that in the desert, in the middle of nowhere with no light. And it's fabulous. It's great design. They did their homework. And I think I would rather pick that and a few pounds more of a Honda weighing more than like dealing with weight. And again, you guys know me by now. I don't care about weight. There's a lot of guys who complain about weight and stuff. It's like, dude, suck it up, be a man, do some push-ups. And I ride an XR 650R and that thing's heavy. But don't get me, because I know you guys. I'm gonna start complaining about how I'm gonna sell the 650 and I'm gonna get a newer bike, and you guys are gonna be like, Mark, suck it up. You said handle the weight, blah blah blah. In this point, in this comparison, I'm just saying, a little weight's not a big deal, but I would still go with the Honda because of the light, their LED kind of setup there. Um, it's just cool. It's just it just looks modern, and the KTM does have a little bit of that vibration. It didn't really bug me, but it is there. I had a buddy, my buddy Matt just bought one, and so he's riding a KTM. But I probably will sell my 650 this year, and I'll be looking for around 4,500 for it. I just don't know when I'm going to sell it. I was kind of waiting to do one more trip on it and then sell it, because I think I'm gonna. Uh, you're right, Elwano. Yeah, XR 650 is heavy. Atomic bombs are bigger than firecrackers. Yeah, you got that right. Um, who knows? Honda may drop a new 650 this year. If they did that, all the old 650s they'd be on Craigslist. But I don't know if they're doing that. We'll have to see. Um, yeah, Bald Bazaar. I love Baja Diaries. Town to town, cheap eats and surfing. Great friends, great views, travel. Yeah, I right now I just can't go down there. Just you know, I don't want to put out the laundry list. Steven from K38. I mean, I would love to go down and see him, but and see all my friends. I have a lot of people down there that I miss. I'd like to see their faces, and but it's just gonna wait. It's gonna wait until the time's right, um, and we'll just see where it goes. But so let's see here. I had some questions actually on actually the last couple videos I had. So let's see. Um, see if I could find them. Yeah. Fire Freddy though has been riding his KTM, and he's going to be posting some pics on Instagram and doing that, so you guys can always check that out. Oh, I got a lot of flack on the when I did the 450L and the gas mileage, but I did correct that. I just sometimes when I do these videos, I make mistakes, and I taught like it just comes out wrong. Because again, it's on the fly. It's on the fly. I do my videos on the fly, and I'm not professional, and this is not like uh, look at the budget I got here. It's not like it's I got editors and shit. So, um, so yeah, just make sure I will make mistakes, and you guys could just bring it up. But I get guys who have never been to my channel before, and then they're just like, "Who are you? What are you?" And it's like, come on. If you want to hassle me on a DM. Let's see here. I'm gonna shut off live here on Instagram, guys. I'm live on YouTube. You can go there, but I got to get to these questions here. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. YouTube. Man, I'll tell you this though. I, Instagram, I'm gonna bitch because now I'm seeing everybody on Instagram just getting shadow banned, and I was getting shadow banned the last year. It was ridiculous. Now I just like I'm over it. I'm over Instagram. I don't even care if they. I don't want to. It's like I don't even want to put my best stuff on Instagram anymore. It's like they can suck it. Um, Okay, John. Bought an XR last year from a guy that switched to an Africa Twin. He's gonna go cross country with it. Yep. I think we'll be morphed into that, but then it's like they'll come out with an electric one. CRF 250L. What about those frequent valve adjustments? Just follow your manual. Um, I'm a huge guy. If you maintenance your bike more than enough, like over um the recommended time to do air filter changes and oil changes, you'll never have to do like that kind of stuff. um I get these guys that love the TM40 carburetor on my Piggy. No more stalling, easy starts. I don't know, man. It's like I knew. It's like COVID. Sometimes TM40 doesn't work for all of us, you know. I just gave up on all that carburetor stuff. Johnny did a good job getting my XR good, and that's that. Um, see, Ramirez says now that's he's talking about my the KTM versus the CRF 450L. Thanks for the honest review. Really liked it. For me personally, the CRF 450L is the better choice because I like it 30% off road and 70% on the streets. For longer distances, it's quiet with no vibrations. Its rear swing arm is a little bit longer, filled with polyurethane, quiet, stable. It's got a very good full LED headlight. Yeah, I mean, the bike's really good. It's comfortable. The suspension's good. I was like jumping that thing, and it was still doing, I didn't feel like I needed like super stiff suspension or revalve or nothing. It was perfect. Here's a older video, CRF 450L versus the XR650R, which was like kind of a joke video. How are the handlebar vibrations on your 650 on longer freeway rides? Does anyone get numb hands? Nope. The only bike I get vibration, like buzzed hands, is like CR500s, but I've been riding for years and I'm kind of used to it. But I do think the XR650 is probably the best bike with no vibration on the planet. Let's see. 100% BJJ. Love these videos. He's talking about Baja Diaries. Makes me want to drag the XR400 to Cali and ride in Baja. XR400 is a great bike. Let's see. Oh, Slowpoke says he's talking about the KTM 390 Adventure. I did that video a couple months ago. Shorter rider here. He's 5'5", pretty comfy on my Scrambler. I love KTMs and debating between this and the 600 Enduro. What do you think to help me start adventure riding? The 390 is a great start. It's a great start. And again, when you say adventure riding, I don't know. I really think there is two types of adventure riding now. There's guys who are like Tim Burke and they ride to Africa with like one person. And then there's people like me who just want to do like a 3-4 day ride and either camp or stay at a motel. And that's all good. And the KTM 390 is a great bike for that. Here's Chris R. This was my video I did, why your first motorcycle should be a dual sport. He says the worst advice I gave was recommending the Honda Grom. A used Honda 250, 650, or 750 Nighthawk makes a good first street bike. A dual sport is great, but personally wouldn't go the distance on a freeway with one. And some are hard to make a mess when changing the oil, which has to be done more often. Tires are much cheaper, and they are perfect city bikes. You're kind of right, Chris. But here's the deal. When you first start out on a street bike, you most likely won't get on a freeway for a while. If I know a couple people that if I gave them a street bike and said, hey, go get on the 405, they'd be like, what? No. The Nighthawk is cool. Here's the deal. The reason I said the Grom is because the Grom builds confidence. It's small. You can put your foot down and pivot the bike. You could turn it around in a circle, like in a parking stall. If it falls over on you, you're not going to die of a broken leg. And it's just a fun little pit bike that you can spend your time going around town, and then you will get to that point where you're like, I want to go on the freeway now. And you could take the Grom on there, but then eventually you'll be like, I want a bigger bike. That's the key, is like getting yourself to ride enough to go, okay, I want a bigger bike. And then that's where you choose, but I always push beginner riders with smaller, more manageable bikes. And I've been heckled on comments with like, what, you don't think of, they don't build those GS 850s for beginners? I'm like, yeah, they do. They keep that in mind. But I know. I taught 3 kids how to ride motorcycles. I've taught adults how to ride motorcycles. Jimmy may disagree with me on some of this, but a manageable machine is the best way to go. And a Nighthawk is heavy. It's it's lower to the ground where you can put your feet down, but it's heavy, and you can't turn it as good as a Grom. It's pit bikes, right? Like, we all love pit bikes. In fact, they're fun and they're manageable because they're fun because they're manageable. So that's my view on it. It's, I've seen people on big bikes and they're scared to death. Until they get up to 15 miles per hour, then they're like, okay, it's not wanting to go anywhere. But then when they come to a stop, they're like, wanting to put a foot down and, do that kind of thing. So, that's my thoughts on that. So I think we're about done here. We went a full hour. Hold tight, everybody. I think you guys don't really care what I put out, and I thank you for that, but it's me. It's like I'm trying to like impress. It's that social media cancer, like I got to put something out. Just hang in there, and when stuff does come, it'll be good. And I continue to, tell you guys, if you guys can, share my channel. I'm trying to get other features that YouTube will allow me to use. And I can't use any of that stuff until I get to like 30,000 subscribers. So share my channel on your networks. Share my Baja Diaries everywhere. Post them on your Facebook pages. Try to get people to subscribe, because these algorithms just don't help me at all. And YouTube is better than Instagram, way better. But Instagram sucks, and they shadow ban me. They ghost post me. It's like BJ Baldwin posted something last week. He has 1 million followers, and he says his posts have only been been seen by 200 to 400 people, and 1 million people follow him. I mean, but this has been going on with me for the last year. So I will not post my videos, my hard work on Instagram so they can put commercials and make money off eyeballs seeing my stuff. I'm just not doing it. Mark Zuckerberg can suck it. Um, but YouTube is so far being fair, and they continue to push my channel to new eyeballs. I get more people from YouTube finding my stuff than Instagram or Twitter. Twitter's even worse. It's a nightmare. So I'm also on, not that this matters, but I'm on Parler. So you can find me on Bermcannon Adventure on Parler. But I'm just trying that. I'm just seeing if, like, 50 people have found me there, because that's a platform that they're trying to get people to use. So it's kind of interesting there. Um, so yeah. Let's see. I got some other things here. Yeah, Ilwano. Mastering a manageable motorcycle means making motorcycle masters. Don't skip steps as a newbie. Anyone can ride a big bike fast if they can restrain themselves, but they never will learn the mastery. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of why I'm saying the Grom is a great bike to master the science of riding a motorcycle, manageability and what it's going to do. And, so yeah, you're right on that for sure. Okay. So we're done here. Thanks guys for holding in with me. So you can support, my content creation by going to my store, which we have tons of shirts, hats that you can buy to support the channel, and it basically just pays for camera equipment and you know the software that put all this stuff together. And you also can subscribe on Spotify, iHeart, or Apple Podcasts to find my behind the scenes, like this kind of talk, and more about, the in-depths of us adventure riders. So, all right, you guys take care, and we'll see.